I spent 3 years dying.
I need you to understand this before anything else. It wasn't a quick death. It wasn't an accident. It was a process. Slow, methodical, relentless. As if the disease had pulled up a chair beside my bed and decided to destroy me inch by inch, in no hurry at all. Before all of that, I was the kind of person who never stopped. I worked, I solved problems, I carried other people's weight on my shoulders. I was always the practical one, the one who doesn't cry, the one who finds a solution while the world falls apart. I had no time to think about death. Death was something that happened to other people. Until the day the doctor looked me in the eye and said, with that calm voice only doctors are trained to use, that the disease was aggressive, that it was already advanced, that I needed to prepare for a hard fight. Prepare. As if anyone could prepare to watch their own body be devoured from the inside. And so, my descent began. First it was my strength, then my mobility, then my dignity. Within a few months, I, who never asked for help, couldn't make it to the bathroom on my own. My body became a prison that shrank with every passing day. My muscles melted like wax, my skin grew thin as paper, and the pain was the only thing that didn't weaken. It grew stronger as everything else disappeared, like the last tenant in a collapsing house who refused to leave. But do you know what hurt more than the burning in my bones? It was watching the faces of the people I loved grow older because of me. My family carried me, literally. And in their eyes, I could see the exhaustion of someone who hasn't slept in months, who smiles during the day and cries in secret at night, who put their own life on hold to keep mine going, even when mine barely existed anymore. I was a burden, and I knew it. And that certainty weighed more than my entire body. There were nights when I would lie awake in the dark, listening to the dragging footsteps of someone coming to check if I was still breathing. And I'd think, it would be easier for everyone if I simply didn't wake up tomorrow. Not because I wanted to die, but because I wanted to free the people I loved from the prison my body had become. For them too. Until that early morning at the hospital, when my lungs simply gave up. Acute respiratory crisis. It felt as if someone had placed a concrete pillow on my chest. The air stopped coming in. I heard the alarms go off like metallic screams. Rushed voices. No response. Saturation dropping. Immediate intubation. And in that final instant, the absolute terror of suffocating met something I never expected to feel. A deep desire for it all to simply end. Cardiorespiratory arrest. No oxygen, no pulse, no sign of life whatsoever. And that's when everything changed. The pain ended. Not gradually. It ended. In a millisecond. 3 years of suffering ripped away at once. The weight on my chest, gone. The burning in my bones, gone. A silent pop, as if a massive bubble had burst, and I was finally free. And then came sleep. Not the broken sleep of someone living between pain and beeping machines. This was the deepest, most peaceful sleep the human mind can conceive. A soft darkness, without time, without borders. If you ask me how long it lasted, I don't know. It could have been 2 seconds or 1,000 years. Time simply ceased to exist. And engrave this in your mind. It was not heaven. I didn't go anywhere. I was sleeping. A deep, unconscious sleep, without suffering. For the first time in years, I was at peace. The total peace of someone who finally rested after a lifetime of exhaustion. And then, in what felt like the very next blink, the darkness tore open, as if the fabric of that silence split down the center, revealing something behind it. And what I saw was not a dream. It was not a hallucination. It was ultra real. More real than the 3 years in that bed. More real than any moment I ever lived with my eyes open. As if the reality I'd always known was a faded photocopy, and what was opening before me was the original document. I received it as a download. A prophetic download. An entire vision unloaded into my being at once, as if the Creator had opened a window in time and said, "Look, this is what has been prepared." I saw the day of the Great Awakening. The Earth was renewed. The same planet, but restored to its original version. The sky held an impossible color, blue with golden veins that pulsed with life. The air wasn't inhaled, it was drunk. Every breath was like swallowing liquid freshness after a lifetime in a stuffy hospital room. And the peace, an almost physical presence that wrapped around you and dissolved layer after layer of trauma, of pain, of accumulated fear. Everything melted away like ice under the sun. The grass glowed as if each blade contained its own light. Colossal trees formed natural cathedrals, rivers of water so crystal clear you could see every colored stone on the bottom, flowers with velvety petals and colors that don't exist in any palette we know, and the animals. Magnificent horses galloped across open fields with a freedom that was almost painful in its beauty. Dogs of every size ran among the people, laying at the feet of whoever passed by, tails wagging with pure joy. They didn't run to anyone in particular. They ran to everyone. Every person received from them the same explosion of affection, as if all of creation existed to spread unconditional joy. Cats stretched out beside laughing children. Birds of impossible colors perched on people's shoulders. A lion lying beside a lamb. All of creation in a silent harmony. But the moment that shattered me and rebuilt me at the same time was the mothers. Women who had lost children before they could hold them, babies who never drew breath. And there, in the Great Awakening, their eyes opened. Small, perfect, complete. And the mothers ran, their faces washed in tears that weren't tears of pain, but of completion. They held those babies in their arms and the world seemed to pause for that embrace. And I knew, with a certainty that struck me like lightning, those mothers would raise them, give them every day that life had stolen. And I saw those who had fallen asleep, sick, people like me, who had closed their eyes, destroyed by years of disease, and there, their eyes opened, but not sick eyes. Radiant eyes, clear, full of life, their appearance restored to their prime, around 30 years old. No pain, no marks. And they ran like children who'd been given back their recess, into the arms of those waiting for them. And I saw who was waiting for me, my family. Restored, young, radiant, with open arms. And I knew with every fiber, this was not fantasy. It was future. It was promise. And before all of that, something inside me broke. Not because of the beauty of the scene, because of the contrast. Because I saw who I had been during my years of illness. I saw that I had let bitterness take the space where gratitude should have lived. For 3 years, while the disease stole my body, I fed a silent rage against everything. Rage at the Creator for allowing the suffering. Rage at my family for still being on their feet. And that rage became a wall. I pushed people away with harsh words. I refused comfort. The very people who dropped everything to care for me received back nothing but silence, impatience, and looks that said, "Go away." I was the god of my own suffering. And I heard something, not with my ears, with something deeper. You called me Lord, but you never made me Lord of your life. Not with anger, with a loving sadness that undid me completely. And I understood. Even in sickness, even in pain, there is choice. The choice of how to treat those who love us. The choice to turn suffering into a bridge or a wall. I had chosen the wall, and I realized that the years we have here, even the painful ones, are preparation. And what matters is not how long it lasted or how much it hurt. It's the love we offer while it lasts. A thank you whispered to the person who changes your sheets at 3 in the morning is worth more, on the scale that truly matters, than a lifetime of empty achievements. And the vision began to close, slowly, like a door shutting between me and that future. And I felt despair. Don't send me back to that body. Don't send me back to the pain. After 3 years of begging for rest, I had finally found peace. And now I was being asked to return, but I knew. That glimpse was a gift, not an immediate destination. There were people who needed to hear what I had seen. My time wasn't over, but its purpose had changed. And then, the whoosh, as if I were sucked back into my body. The contrast was brutal. The weight of sick flesh, the tube in my throat, the cold of the hospital. The pain returned, but different. As if the memory of what I'd seen had created a layer of protection made of certainty. I opened my eyes. Fluorescent lights. The medical team looked at me as if they were seeing a ghost. And the first thing I did was search for my family. They were at the door. Faces devastated by hours of waiting. They'd been told to prepare for the worst. And when they saw my eyes open, they collapsed. And I, with a voice that barely came out, whispered, "I saw it. I saw everything. They're sleeping in peace. And they will wake up. They will all wake up." They didn't understand. Not in that moment, but they felt it. And they held on to me like someone holding on to something they'd already given up for lost. And for the first time in 3 years, my hand squeezed theirs with tenderness, not with bitterness. And in the days that followed, even with the pain back, even with my body still broken, something was different. I was different. The same words I once used to push people away, I began using to say thank you. The same look that once said, "Go away," now said, "Thank you for staying." Now listen to me. This is for you. If you're caring for someone trapped in a bed, if you change sheets in the middle of the night, if you hide your tears in the hallway, if you feel like you can't take it anymore, and then feel guilty for even thinking that, what you do matters. Every gesture, every silent sacrifice is being seen. And one day, it will be rewarded in a way that words cannot contain. And if you carry the weight of someone who already left, someone you watched suffer for months or years until they closed their eyes, know this. For them, the pain is over. In the millisecond their eyes closed, all the pain, all the disease disappeared. They are in a deep sleep of peace. No suffering, no perception of time, and the very next blink of their eyes will be that wondrous scene I saw, the Great Awakening, the body restored, no pain, and open arms waiting for them, and theirs waiting for you. What that prophetic download engraved in me was this. The most important thing you can do with the time you have is to seek the Creator with sincerity. It's not about rituals or labels. It's an honest search for the one who prepared everything I saw. It's seeking to know Him, understanding what He expects of us. It's living each day, in health or in sickness, as a preparation for that moment, so that He may reward us with the chance to be once again with those we love. And now I ask you, and I truly want you to answer in the comments, who is the person you can barely wait to embrace on the day of the Great Awakening? Close your eyes. See their face. Imagine them with their eyes open, restored, radiant, without a single mark of pain, running toward you. That embrace will happen, and it will last forever.